31, anybody? 31 anymore? 32, 33?
Got very deprived of sleep while I was pregnant. I survived on very little sleep, and then after my son was born, I was just so elated and over the moon that I couldn't switch off at all. I was kind of manic straight away after the birth, and I don't think anybody knew anything was wrong because I was almost too well, really.
A big thing was the sleep deprivation, and then I started really being just unable to switch off, really. But I think everybody thinks it's just the adrenaline, you know, post-delivery. For me, it was all about writing notes. I was just addicted to writing a note on anything. I'd write on absolutely any piece of paper I could find.
Not that long after my husband was sent home, I went catatonic. So they thought that perhaps I'd had a huge stroke or a heart attack or something like that. And were very worried about me because I wasn't responding in any way. In my head, what was going on was I was convinced that I was dying, and I was hallucinating things like the midwives around me putting on their masks and their scrubs to deal with a dead body. And of course all this was going on in my head, but to them I was just completely catatonic and not responding to anything.
So you just went silent, you wouldn't speak, you wouldn't say anything at all?
I was kind of conscious that I wasn't talking, and I deliberately was not going to speak to the psychiatrist because I didn't like what he was wearing, which is ridiculous.
I kept having beliefs, like I thought the staff were trying to kill me, and I really, really believed it, and I was hysterical because I thought they were trying to kill me.
I've heard of people say that it's like taking LSD, that you're on this trip and it's not a day trip, it's a long time.
Well, when they diagnose you, I mean, I argued with every single professional in Derby to tell them I hadn't got postpartum psychosis, I'd got sleep deprivation, you know, and I became the, the doctor of explaining, because I just did not want that on my record.
Whenever I've talked to people that don't know me and I've told them about it, quite often I've had that sort of response, the way they look at me and the way they treat me. The stigma's still there now.
I'd never heard of postpartum psychosis. I'd heard of postnatal depression, and actually feel quite angry in some ways that nobody warned you about the risks to your mental health when you're pregnant.
It's just so silly that women have to suffer and have to go through such stress and end up dying because of an illness that is ultimately treatable.